Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the 2022 Clarkstown Police Department Recognition Ceremony. I'm Sergeant Nicholas LaFasciano. The recognition ceremony is conducted annually to honor police officers who have acted in an outstanding and/or heroic manner and who have gone beyond the regular call of duty in pursuit of their service to the residents of the town of Clarkstown. Before we begin the ceremony, I would just like to recognize some of our elected officials and distinguished guests in our audience. Rockland County District Attorney Thomas Walsh. New York State Assemblyman Ken Zabrowski. New York State Assemblyman Mike Lawler. Clarkstown Justice David Asher. Clarkstown Justice Howard Gerber. County Legislator Lon Hofstein. Superintendent of Highways Robert Malone. Retired Clarkstown Police Department Chief William Collins. And retired Clarkstown Police Chief Kevin Kilduff. I would ask that you please rise while the Clarkstown Police Honor Guard presents the colors. Detail, attention. Detail, present arms.
Colors, mark time. Ready, march.
Detail, order, arms. At this time, I call on Chief Wanamaker to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Colors, present.
Detail, order, arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colors, shoulder.
Detail, order, arms. I now call on Reverend David Lothrop for the invocation.
Let us pause for a few moments, remembering all law enforcement officers and our military who have paid the ultimate price for the freedoms that we so richly enjoy. Oh God, how thankful we are to be blessed with men and women who dedicate their lives in order that we may continue to share the freedoms that we so richly enjoy. We are truly thankful for their talents and for their accomplishments. Today, with gratitude in our hearts, we come to recognize those individuals in law enforcement and civilian who have gone beyond the call of duty. Through their achievements and their heroic acts, they have brought great credit upon themselves, this department, this community, and especially to their families. May this ceremony be a reminder to us that excellence in life takes time and effort and always involves going the second mile. May the honors that are bestowed upon these honorees today challenge each of us to serve the cause of freedom with renewed commitment. This morning we are also pleased to recognize the achievements of our young men and women. It is a great privilege to honor them today with scholarships. May they continue to become enlightened and prepared to lead us in the future. We now take a moment to remember those retired members of our department who left us way too early. Thank you for letting us be recipients of their dedication and friendships. For all those who are retired and who have gone to their final resting place, may their families know that we truly will always hold them in our hearts. And now, O God, may thy blessing be upon all of us and upon this ceremony as it continues, for we ask it in thy name. Amen.
Colors. Right. Hey!
Please remain standing while the colors are retired. Detail, present arms. Detail, order, arms. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce our dais. Assemblyman Mike Lawler, New York State Assemblyman Ken Zabrowski, Chief Jeffrey Wanamaker, Captain Glenn Cummings, Supervisor George Homan, District Attorney Thomas Walsh, Councilman Michael Graziano, Superintendent of Highways Robert Malone, Councilman Patrick Carroll, Lon Hofstein. Councilman Lon Hofstein, Judge David Asher, Reverend Lothrop, and Judge Howard Gerber. At this time, I call forward Chief Wanamaker for his remarks.
Morning. Rev, thanks for the sunshine, but the temperature, I don't know if I could give you a passing grade on. Good morning, all. It is my pleasure to welcome family, friends, elected officials, and most of all our honorees to the Clarkstown Police Department Annual Awards Ceremony. What? Okay. The officers of this department routinely make sacrifices in order to perform their duties. But I would be remiss not to mention their families and the sacrifices they have made. The nights, the weekends, the holidays that these officers are absent. The ever-present awareness of risk your loved ones undertake are a testament to your own commitment to our society, where the law will be enforced and your neighbors will be protected. President Reagan said it best about our profession as to why we are able to live in a free society. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. I cannot say we are all not unafraid. And bravery is not necessarily the absence of fear, but is the resilience despite that fear. Bravery in the face of evil is what the police officers in America exhibit every single day. And shortly you will hear about these brave acts and the life-saving efforts here in Clarkstown. On behalf of the Clarkstown Police Department, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the award recipients, both law enforcement and civilians. My sincerest congratulations to each and every one of you. You truly are the finest. Thank you.
I would now ask Supervisor Homan to come forward to speak on behalf of the town board.
So good morning. First, I want to thank Chief Wanamaker and Captain Cummings and all the command staff of the Clarkstown Police Department for the invitation for myself and the town board to be here, but more importantly for their leadership of the Clarkstown Police Department. We're indebted to you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, command staff. Also to the Clarkstown PBA for the scholarships that they're awarding today, but also for their commitment to our community through their membership. We're very grateful and thank you so much. I also want to recognize that a couple of our council people were unable to make it today due to family commitments with graduations. So Councilman Borelli is enjoying a graduation with his daughter in Maryland, and Councilman Franchino is enjoying graduation with his grandson out in the Midwest. So I want to recognize that as well. So the purpose of National Police Week is to honor America's law enforcement community and to remember those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty, and also to recognize the excellence of current officers who have performed acts of valor and displayed outstanding leadership. In 1962, President Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which that date falls is National Police Week. Currently, tens of thousands of law enforcement officers from around the world descend upon Washington this past week to participate in a number of planned events which honor those in law enforcement who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. The memorial service actually began in 1982 as a gathering in Senate Park with only about 120 survivors and supporters of law enforcement. Now, 4 decades later, that event has grown to a series of events which, as I said, attracts tens of thousands of survivors and law enforcement officers to our nation's capital each year. The attendees come from departments throughout the U.S. as well as agencies throughout the world. Many of our own officers present here also attend, including our own Honor Guard, which annually is the lead unit for the principal memorial ceremony. According to data compiled by the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund, 2021 was the deadliest year for law enforcement in our nation's history. According to the statistics, 458 federal, state, tribal, and local law enforcement officers died in the line of duty in 2021. It was an increase of 55% from the 295 officers who died in the same period the prior year. And it's the highest total of line of duty deaths since 1930, when 312 fatalities occurred. There are 23,229 names on the National Police Memorial in Washington, D.C. It is a stark reality that law enforcement is inherently dangerous. There is a police week these past 60 years because there unfortunately is a need for a memorial to honor the fallen. As Police Week comes to an end, we gather together here first and later at 11 o'clock at the County Memorial to do two things. First, here we honor the exceptional police work that our officers have performed over the past year. Later on at 11 o'clock across the street in the county, we'll honor the fallen from Rockland County law enforcement agencies whose names are on that memorial wall just across the street. The commendations, honors, and recognition outlined here this morning are well-deserved and designate our officers as performing admirably in the line of duty, saving lives, solving crimes, protecting our residents. We cannot thank you enough for your service and for your willingness to place yourself in harm's way. It takes a special kind of person to regularly accept the possibility of risk of death or injury in performing your job. And let's face it, it isn't easy doing what you do and are prepared to do, to put your life on the line for someone else. It isn't easier still when many voices in our society are constantly seeking to undermine and in some cases denigrate the profession of being a police officer. Next, to the families, some of whom are gathered here, and friends of our brave officers, thank you for lending them to our department. Their service is supported also by your sacrifice and worry. The many nights, holidays, and family events that were missed testify to that sacrifice. This is compounded by the anxiety that you experience as incidents occur, ranging from extreme weather to criminal acts that your loved one has to face on the job. Thank you to all the families and loved ones of our officers for your part in the service that our officers play. We are grateful. On behalf of myself, the entire town board, and the people of Clarkstown, I want to thank you, our officers, for your service. Thank you for your exceptionalism. Thank you for your bravery. And thank you for saving lives. We are incredibly fortunate and blessed to have the most exceptional police department in the country, bar none. On a daily basis, I have the honor of working with and relying upon the finest men and women in law enforcement in our country. And I'm honored to bear witness to that privilege. May God continue to bless you and protect you as you serve our residents, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Homan and Chief Wanamaker, for your remarks. At this time, I'd like to call forward the dais for the presentation of our awards. If you will, please step forward. Our first category is Excellent Police Service. The Excellent Police Service Award shall be awarded to any member of the department who in the line of duty performs an act which brings acclaim to themselves and/or the department. Police Officer Anthony Muscatella. On January 9th, 2021, at approximately 12:45 in the morning, Clarkstown patrol units were dispatched to a large fight at the West Nyack Firehouse, where a catered party was being held. Officer Muscatella arrived on scene, discovered dozens of people involved in physical altercations and several injured parties. Officer Muscatella radioed for additional units and advised EMS of the medical status of the injured parties. One victim was lying on the ground after having been stabbed in the neck. A suspect was identified by the witnesses, and that party was detained and arrested by Officer Muscatella. The suspect was later charged with attempted murder, among other felony offenses. Go ahead. Police Officer Anthony Drescher, Arthur Noldeck, and Thomas O'Connell. On January 18, 2021, at approximately 7:25 p.m., patrol units received a countywide alarm of a vehicle stolen in the town of Ramapo. The town's license plate reader indicated that the vehicle was in the vicinity of Pascack Road and was soon spotted by Officer O'Connell. A vehicle pursuit ensued with the stolen vehicle crashing on Chestnut Ridge Road. Officer O'Connell was able to arrest the passenger. The driver ran out of the vehicle. A foot pursuit into the woods off Chestnut Ridge Road in Spring Valley ended with Officers Drescher and Noldeck catching and arresting the driver of the stolen vehicle. Detective Orlando Cruz, Detective Charles Owens. On February 28, 2021, at approximately 7 p.m., patrol units responded to the report of a naked, injured man lying on the side of a roadway in New City. The initial investigation revealed that the victim had been robbed and stripped of his clothing. A crime scene was established and detectives were notified to respond. Further investigation revealed that the victim had been lured to the location as part of a gang dispute. The victim was robbed, beaten, and tortured while the suspects videotaped the episode. A lengthy, complex investigation was done in coordination with federal authorities, resulting in multiple parties being charged with numerous state and federal crimes. Sergeant John Giordano, Police Officer Roger Grieve, Police Officer Brendan Wren. On March 7, 2021, at approximately 2 a.m., police units responded to a burglar alarm at the Rockland Chrysler Jeep dealership on Route 304. Officer Wren observed a man running on the property in front of the dealership holding a tire iron. A brief struggle ensued involving all three officers, during which the suspect was taken into custody. Subsequent investigation showed that the bay door had been compromised and the suspect had been able to enter the building. The suspect was found to be in possession of 3 key fobs compatible with vehicles on the lot. He was arrested and charged with multiple felonies, including burglary. Police Officer Daniel Maloney, Police Officer Robert Riley. On April 11, 2021, at approximately 3:10 p.m., police were alerted to a man on the roof of 25 Smith Street in Nanuet. Further information was relayed that the party on the roof was suicidal. Officers Maloney and Riley responded and gained entry to the roof landing, where they found the suicidal party standing on the ledge, looking down at the pavement 7 stories below. The man was visibly upset and stated he was going to end his life. These officers spoke with the suicidal man for about 15 minutes before he agreed to come down and be transported to a local psychiatric facility for help. Police Officer Connor Golden. On June 15, 2021, at approximately 3:25 p.m., a countywide alarm was broadcast to all patrol units advising of a vehicle which had just been stolen out of the village of Spring Valley. Furthermore, the town license plate reader detected a hit on the vehicle in the area of West Clarkstown Road in New City. Officer Golden began canvassing the area of the most recent LPR hit and spotted the vehicle traveling southbound on West Clarkstown Road. A vehicle pursuit was initiated and ended in the area of Carnaby Court, where Officer Golden was able to detain the operator of the vehicle at gunpoint until backup units arrived. The suspect was charged with several felonies, including grand larceny. Police Officer Matthew Dowen, Arthur Noldecken, and Christopher Wolf. On June 15, 2021, at approximately 4:30 p.m., Clarkstown Police received a report of a shoplifting complaint in progress at Macy's involving 3 male parties who were attempting to leave the Palisades Center Mall. Two individuals jumped into a vehicle which had fled out of the mall and was pursued by 2 CPD marked units. After several minutes, that pursuit was terminated due to the high risk to public safety. Officers soon found the 3rd suspect attempting to enter a vehicle in the mall parking lot that displayed stolen Virginia license plates. The suspect was apprehended and found to be in possession of a loaded handgun. The suspect, who was on parole in New York State, was charged with several felonies. Police Officer Michael Romanello. On August 15, 2021, at approximately 2:07 p.m., CPD units were alerted that a male suffering from a gunshot wound had just been dropped off at Nyack Hospital. The broadcast indicated that the victim had been dropped off by an unknown male who left the scene in an older model Acura, but only a partial plate was given. Officer Romanello, while on patrol, observed a vehicle that matched the broadcast description. A car stop was initiated. The operator was detained and held for Ramapo PD units to arrive. P.O. Romanello's actions led directly to the solving of an attempted murder case in an adjoining jurisdiction. Police Officer Arthur Noldecken, Police Officer Vincent Faccarelli. On August 18, 2021, at approximately 10:45 p.m., Clarkstown Police received a report that a victim had been carjacked at the Palisades Center Mall. Responding units determined that the victim had been stabbed 3 times during the robbery. They provided first aid and broadcast the description of the stolen car. Officers Noldeck and Vaccarelli spotted the stolen vehicle, which was occupied by the suspect. After a felony car stop, the suspect was taken into custody and subsequently charged with robbery, assault, and grand larceny. Police Officer Raymond Lechette. On September 18, 2021, at approximately 7:30 p.m., police responded to a call of gunshots heard by the St. Agatha's property in Nanuet. Officer Lechette was the first on scene and spotted a suspect nearby in a vehicle. The suspect was ordered out of the vehicle and was found to be in possession of 2 loaded firearms. A total of 17 shell casings were found in the area. After his arrest, the suspect stated that he was just blowing off some steam. Police Officer Connor Golden, Police Officer Sean Suarez. On September 28, 2021, at approximately 10:30 p.m., police responded to the area of Poplar Street in Nanuet. On a Ring video system, the complainant had seen an unknown male enter his vehicle which was parked in his driveway. Responding officers Golden and Suarez found the suspect nearby. An investigation was able to tie him to at least 2 other car larcenies. The suspect was also charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance. Police Officer Matthew Dowen, Police Officer Christopher Wolf. On October 1st, 2021, at approximately 2:00 p.m., Clarkstown units responded to Retro Fitness in New City in response to a wallet taken out of a locker at that location. Patrol units were notified of a past similar larceny which had occurred in Orangetown, during which the suspect used the stolen credit cards to buy jewelry in the Palisades Center Mall. After contacting the victim's credit card company and reviewing video at the mall, the suspect was spotted after making numerous fraudulent purchases at Lippman Jewelers. A foot pursuit ensued through the mall, after which the subject was subdued and arrested by officers Dowen and Wolf. He was charged with 12 felonies and 2 misdemeanors from this incident. Police Officer Ryan Davin, Andrew Kelly, and Thomas Latour. On October 12, 2021, at approximately 3:33 p.m., Clarkstown PD Street Crime Unit responded to the area of North Little Tour Road in New City with regards to a party with an active arrest warrant. The suspect had been spotted operating a motorcycle in the town. A felony car stop was initiated. The operator was found to be in possession of an illegally possessed loaded handgun, a large amount of U.S. currency, and a large amount of illegal drugs wrapped in 25 separate plastic baggies. Police Officer Thomas Fitzgerald. On November 14, 2021, at approximately 12:45 p.m., Officer Fitzgerald was on routine patrol in the Palisades Center Mall parking lot when he saw 5 to 7 young males punching and kicking an adult bus driver who was on the ground in the lot. Officer Fitzgerald radioed for backup and was able to place 2 of the suspects in handcuffs. When his first backup arrived, he left these suspects and was able to pursue the other suspects into the woods northwest of the mall, where he arrested a 3rd suspect. The bus driver, who had lost consciousness, was transported to Nyack Hospital for treatment. All 3 captured subjects were charged with gang assault. Excellent police service from a prior year, we're recognizing Detective Christopher Kiernan. On March 22nd, 2022, Eric Ross was found guilty of murder in the shooting death of Jobins Joseph in November 2018. Detective Chris Kiernan was the lead detective and was able to make an arrest shortly after the incident in Pennsylvania. Detective Kiernan successfully led a team of detectives in a multi-jurisdictional investigation and recovered relevant evidence and secured numerous witnesses in a concerted effort to win a conviction for the people of New York and to ensure that this felon would be sent to prison. This unusual effort exemplifies the professionalism of the Clarkstown Police Department Detective Bureau and the entire police department. Excellent police service prior year, Detective Robert Fortune. On April 19, 2022, Robert C. William III was found guilty of murdering Wanda and Kathleen Castor in Valley Cottage in May of 2020. This heinous act caused the death of a mother and daughter and left an infant child orphaned. Detective Fortune was able to identify, arrest, and ultimately create a case that led to a murder conviction. Detective Fortune's fortitude and meticulous investigation covered multiple agencies, countless witnesses, and large amounts of evidence, in addition to overcoming discovery laws. Detective Fortune's actions demonstrated exceptional initiative and exemplifies his devotion to duty. Our next award category is Meritorious Police Service Second. It shall be awarded to any member of this department who in the line of duty performs an outstanding act which demonstrates exceptional initiative or unusual dedication and brings public or professional acclaim to themselves and or the department. I call forward Sergeant Christian Cortelli, Detective Jason Manzella, Police Officer Ryan Davin, Police Officer Andrew Kelly, Police Officer Michael Feltham, and Police Officer Thomas Latour. On February 16, 2021, the Clarkstown Street Crime Unit was on routine patrol when P.O. Davin observed an individual exit a drug-prone location and attempted to conceal a heavy object in his waistband. Officer Davin radioed the description to Detective Manzella, Officer Kelly, and Officer Feltham, and requested that they conduct a car stop of the suspect. With the assistance of Sergeant Cortelli, these officers stopped the suspect and recovered a loaded 9mm high-point handgun and a small amount of illicit drugs. The individual was a previous convicted felon and pled guilty to federal charges. Their observation skills and tactical response resulted in safely removing a dangerous criminal from the streets. Our next award category is the Life-Saving Medal. The life-saving medal shall be awarded to any member of this department who in the line of duty performs an act which directly results in the saving of a life. Officer Henry Mendez, Officer Tim Woolley, Officer Brian Calor, and Officer Thomas Fitzgerald. On January 11, 2021, at approximately 4:29 p.m., patrol units were dispatched to a location in New City for a party covered in blood. While on scene, officers located the person with severe lacerations to both the thighs, arms, and he indicated that his wounds were self-inflicted. These officers began rendering first aid by placing tourniquets on both legs and his left arm due to the severity of the cuts that were caused by a box cutter. In addition, direct pressure was applied to the biggest laceration on the left thigh, and a blanket was used to prevent shock. The individual was transported by New City Ambulance and Rockland paramedics to Westchester County Medical Center, where he ultimately recovered. Police Officer Philip Duval, David Mendez, Michael Keene, and Michael Romanello. On March 1st, 2021, at approximately 8:26 a.m., patrol units were dispatched to a location in Nanuet for a party attempting to harm herself. While on scene, the officers located the person with a bathrobe belt affixed around her neck hanging from the rear deck of the residence. These officers cut down the female immediately, who was unresponsive with no pulse and not breathing. CPR was performed and an AED was deployed. After several cycles of CPR, a pulse was regained, but the female remained unconscious. The individual was transported by Nanuet ambulance with the assistance of the Rockland County paramedics to Nyack Hospital, where she ultimately recovered. Police Officer Thomas Hannigan. On May 17, 2021, at approximately 12:34 p.m., Officer Hannigan was dispatched to a location in Nanuet for a party not breathing. While on scene, Officer Hannigan observed a male lying on the floor and was unresponsive. He commenced CPR and a shock was administered with an AED. The individual regained consciousness while en route to the hospital. He was transported by Nanuet ambulance and Rockland County paramedics to Nyack Hospital, where he fully recovered. Police Officer Shirley Rose. On August 3rd, 2021, at approximately 3:52 p.m., Officer Rose was dispatched to a location in Nanuet for a party not breathing. While on scene, Officer Rose observed a male laying on the floor unconscious, unresponsive, and with a purple complexion in their face. She commenced CPR and a shock was administered with an AED. One shock was given as well as chest compressions, and then the aided began to regain consciousness. He was transported by Nanuet ambulance and Rockland County paramedics to Nyack Hospital, where he recovered. Police Officer Vincent Vaccarelli, Officer Ryan Fay, Officer Arthur Noldecken, and Officer Anthony Drescher. On September 10, 2021, at approximately 12 p.m., patrol units were dispatched to Congers Auto Spa in Congers for an accident with injuries. A vehicle exiting the car wash collided with a parked vehicle that was at a vacuuming station. A male was struck and pinned inside the right front door of his vehicle. The male suffered an almost complete amputation of his left leg, and his right leg had been crushed. Officers Vaccarelli, Fay, Noldecken, and Drescher responded and immediately began rendering aid. These CPD officers assisted in stabilizing and extricating the victim from the vehicle. The victim was transported to Westchester County Medical Center in critical condition. The rapid response and professional actions of these officers undoubtedly led to the survival of this accident victim. Sergeant William Robinson, Police Officer Kyle Suarez. On November 15, 2021, at approximately 7:28 a.m., Officer Suarez was dispatched to a location in West Nyack for an unresponsive female on the side of Route 303. While on scene, Officer Suarez observed the female lying on the side of the road, unconscious, unresponsive, no pulse, and not breathing. He commenced CPR with the assistance of Sergeant Robinson. She was transported by Nyack ambulance staff and Rockland County paramedics to Nyack Hospital, where she fully recovered. Our next category is Certificate of Merit. I call forward Dispatcher Brian Duddy. On February 16, 2021, at approximately 8:23 p.m., Clarkstown Police Dispatch received a call for a male party in New City threatening to harm himself. Officers arrived at the scene and were advised that there was a party inside the location holding a large knife to his chest. Using his skills as a police dispatcher, Dispatcher Duddy was able to convince the party to drop the knife and exit the residence with his hands in the air. The party stated that he was depressed and had been drinking. Dispatcher Duddy assisted in resolving this incident without any injuries to any of the parties involved. Officers were able to bring the male to the hospital for treatment and further evaluation. Dispatcher Damien Shea. On May 22, 2021, at approximately 3:06 a.m., Clarkstown Police received a hit for a stolen vehicle on the license plate reader system in the area of the Palisades Center Mall. Dispatcher Shea was able to alert area patrols of the stolen vehicle and assist officers in locating the vehicle in question. The vehicle was stopped by the responding units, resulting in 6 individuals being arrested and taken into custody without incident. Dispatcher Brian Duddy. On May 25, 2021, at approximately 11:47 a.m., Clarkstown Police received a call for a female party that was choking on a piece of food and beginning to lose consciousness in a New City residence. Dispatcher Duddy, using his skills as an emergency medical police dispatcher, was able to instruct fellow residents at the scene how to perform the Heimlich maneuver. Under the direction of Dispatcher Duddy, the object was dislodged from the aided's throat and she was able to resume normal breathing. At this time, I'll call forward Clarkstown PBA President Christopher Robinson, who will present the PBA scholarships.
Good morning. Each year, the Clarkstown PBA is proud to honor the memory of past Chief of Police G. Robert Schnackenberg by awarding a scholarship in his name to a graduating high school senior from our community. Chief Schnackenberg was a man of great character, dedicated to family, community, and country. His service and dedication to the people of Clarkstown set a high standard. Today's PBA members are dedicated to continuing that high standard of service and dedication to the people of this town. This year's scholarship recipient is driven to soar by being an active participant in her success, as well as the success of those around her. She has participated in many community service-based activities. She serves as a member of the Clarkstown Youth Court, advocating for her peers and contributing directly to the justice system. She is a cadet airman first class with the Civil Air Patrol, where she has worked to maintain the organization's core values: integrity, volunteer, service excellence, and respect. In addition, she has managed to be a National Honor Society student and has earned several academic distinctions. On behalf of the Clarkstown PBA, I am proud to present this year's Schnackenberg Scholarship to Madison Flanagan. Again this year, the PBA, in recognition of our strong partnership with the community, is able to present scholarship awards to graduating high school seniors from our town. These students have demonstrated both academic achievement and strong record of community service. The PBA recognizes this dedication these young adults displayed by their volunteer work in charitable and community service organizations. This year's PBA Scholarship Award winners are Aiden Carton and Shanna Hatia. Congratulations. In September 1973, James J. Doyle was sworn in as a Clarkstown police officer and began a long, distinguished career. Jim recognized the importance of protecting children and championing the causes that most support the youth of our community. He was dedicated to protecting and serving children through our department's Juvenile Aid Bureau. Even after moving on to other assignments, Jim looked back at his time in the Juvenile Aid and his most significant long-term contribution to the department. After Jim's passing in 2005, his wife, Rosemary, and his son, Michael, organized and established the J. Doyle Memorial Golf Outing. Proceeds from the outing have been used exclusively to fund scholarships for local students. Jimmy loved the Clarkstown Police Department and considered the men and women of this department his second family. He would surely have been proud of the young adults being recognized today. This year's recipients of the Detective Sergeant James J. Doyle Memorial Scholarship are, first, Jake Chernick. Congratulations. Peyton Kelly. Brian Michelle. Daniel Owens. Jack Reekey. Isabella Reekey. And Leah Ryan. Congratulations to all of this year's recipients.
I'd like to thank everyone for attending this morning's recognition ceremony. As a reminder, at 11 a.m. today, the annual Rockland County Police Memorial Ceremony will take place on the Courthouse lawn. Also, please join us now for a reception for all guests, which will be held in the rear parking lot Sallyport area of the police station. Again, congratulations to all. This concludes our recognition ceremony. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, George. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go. Free cup of coffee. I can't.